Welcome back to Tampa Bay Today at Florida Alumni Radio, 1010 a.m. I am Schreiner, and as promised, we are going to have a conversation now that helps. It's interesting because as I was learning more about Our Town America and what they do, they were like, there are two different groups of consumers that we can help. One being the businesses, products, and services that exist, and the other being people new to the area that may not know how to find them. And what I see them doing is going, oh, well, we have customers here, and we'll connect them. And then everybody ends up happy getting the services they need, and businesses thrive. And to help us understand more about this company that has been around in Florida just 1 year less than me. I moved here 54 years ago this past Labor Day weekend, and they have been here for 53 years. And to help us with this conversation, we are going to welcome Jim Puba to the show. How are you, Jim? Thanks for coming in.
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me.
I think this is fantastic because making those connections and having resources when you're new to the state, and we've had the explosive growth in Florida and the Tampa Bay area, which depending upon where your job may take you and all that, I think Central Florida, East or West, is prime opportunity for new growth and new people, new residents coming in because we're central to the entire state and there's so much opportunity for business and people are relocating from other states for many reasons we don't need to get into.
Right, of course.
But that creates opportunities.
Well, there's turnover everywhere, right? Whether there's a mass exodus for one reason or another, or people are moving to a state for another reason.
Just even businesses relocating and the employees coming along with them because of the positive economic climate that we have in Florida.
Absolutely. There's about a 12% turnover in community on average across the U.S., and that moves and fluctuates. Florida, Texas, Arizona, the Carolinas. Those are some enormous swings of new movers coming in. But the advantage with our company being 53 years old, and let me just back up, and I can just
let's start at the top. Jim, tell us a little about yourself and how you came to Our Town America. Then we'll do the overview. Then we'll get into how it really works.
I'm one of those crazy serial entrepreneurs. Been very fortunate in my lifetime to be part of startups that have accelerated. And then participating in companies on a consultative side of bringing businesses through a growth pattern, a growth stage, and expanding their footprints. That's what I've done my entire career. Right. Some with some great success, and others, obviously, there's been businesses that we've tried to help or we've tried to start that just never take off. But like a gambler, right? They only talk about their winnings.
I actually accept the fact that your losses are your greatest educational experiences.
100%.
I mean, even if I was actually having a conversation last night, biblically, the greatest celebrations in the Bible came from the people that failed first. The biggest losers became the most important people. And that's true in business as well. You see the people that try something and they fail and fail and fail, but generally you don't see it until they have that victory.
Yeah. So the Plummer family, actually started this business out of the recognized need of creating community, right? Getting people in the community attached to local businesses and supporting local businesses. So when that started in Iowa, actually, central part of the country.
Right.
And after 2 years, they moved down to Florida. And now our headquarters have been down here for, over 50 years.
Right.
The need that they saw, the advertising in the space in the world, they support your businesses, they support TV, they support whatever, all paid advertising, is creating that mindset of repetitive information and branding to the same people over and over and over. And they thought that there was a niche that was missed of getting in front of people who have just moved into a community and getting them in contact with locally owned businesses and really creating that sense of partnership and really, for an overused word, but a source of community.
Right.
To be able to walk through and pay for advertising and get 10% off of this or a coupon, really what we've created is a full gratuitous type of an approach.
Right.
There's not a 5 or 10% off. It's I'm going to come in here and I'm going to give you, as a new family, a free entree at my restaurant.
Right.
Or come in and get a free teeth cleaning, or a free checkup at a veterinarian hospital for your animals, where it's, welcome to the neighborhood, come on in and try our business and let us earn your business that way. But either way, welcome.
I'm looking at some of the things right now, and the things you're talking about are exactly what new residents need. Where do I get an oil change? Where's a good family restaurant to go to? Yeah, a gym. I have a pet, and now we're here. We're not even unpacked, and the pet's throwing up everywhere. I think it ate something. What's a good vet? And when you have all these packaged, and people can go to Our Town America and resource where they can go for a trusted provider is important.
The trusted provider is really one of the keys. Is we interview every single business that we have a relationship with. Mm-hmm. Number one, we want to make sure that they're a sound business in the community. Number two, we want to make sure that they understand that this is a one-time shot. We're not going to people over and over and over. We're not milling lists, mining data every single month and inundating people with advertisements over and over and over.
Oh yeah, like here's my every month I get this. Hey, current resident.
Of course.
And it's the same, and it's nothing usually. It's a way I get it and I throw them out.
Right. There's some great opportunities in those. Like you find them every once in a while if it's a place that you're constantly going to. And
but getting a welcome packet that is designed for the new resident who just arrived and has that's a different kind of a setup.
Correct. Businesses and people recognize they need both. They need a consistent branding effort, mm-hmm. right? And they also need awareness of who's in that community when you move in. So it's a one-time shot.
Okay.
So you get an opportunity to get your foot in the door with, a particular community. For example, if there's 1,000 new movers that are in a radius that supports your goods, buying your goods and services for your business, you might get a 10 to as high as 28% redemption rate of people coming in and trying your business.
Right.
And the way we build that community then is we have a survey.
Right.
So every packet that goes out has an opportunity for people to fill out a survey. Because we're on the philanthropic side and we're really community-based, and it's micro-community-based, yet nationwide. Right. There's not a zip code or community that we're not involved in or can't get into if we're not there already.
Right.
So now we have somebody who moves into the community. They get this packet in the mail. Holy cow, this is great. I'm going to try this vet. I'm going to try this restaurant out. If they go and try out the restaurant, 7 days later, they get a thank you card from the restaurant in the mail.
Right.
Now, what's the best form of advertising?
Well, word of mouth. Yeah.
Exactly. You know how that's created? All of a sudden, when I moved, I got one of these packets.
Right.
And you know how many people I told? Like, you wouldn't believe it. I came down to Florida. I was looking for a pizza place. I was looking for a gym. I went out. Had a great experience at Wrigley's Pizza. Sat down. A week later, I get a thank you card from them saying, "Hey, come back and try out an appetizer." And I'm like, I told 50 people.
Well, here's the thing. When you told that story, and as now working with was it Our Town America that was connected when you first moved here?
Yes.
Yeah, so same company. So now you're working for him. I want people to understand, he got so excited when relating this story before he was an employee, his first contact with them, he started moving away from the mic, and he was looking around the room. His eyes lit up. That must have been the best pizza you'd ever had.
Well, yes, I'm a pizza guy. I need my gym. I need my pizza. I needed a vet for my dog.
But you see, the important thing is that pizza company that you came into contact with when you first moved and you found out through Our Town America, you gave them a try, and it paid off, right? It paid off for you finding a good place to get a pie. It paid off for them with a customer who was excited to share their experience, and that's what you're trying to do. You want to connect the good local businesses with new residents so that they can develop a lifelong relationship.
Absolutely.
And that's where business is best, when there's a relationship between consumer and the provider. And to be honest, the provider is a consumer as well when it comes to you, because you're connecting them with what they need, and that is, customers.
I agree. another side of that is we're able to take the exact same tools that major national brands utilize every single day that are also customers of ours and apply that same capability and vehicle to the independent mom and pop shop, which is critical for us.
Yeah.
You know, we want to have a mixture. Even the national brands that we are deeply embedded with, Little Caesars, Dunkin' Donuts, Farmer's Dog, all of that.
They're all needed too.
They're all needed.
Right.
But
by the way, I tell people all the time, a lot of those are franchised. They're owned by
they're
local mom and pop.
owned by local people. I was just going to say that.
Well, my brother did the same thing. He was a proprietor at a Carrabba's and later at Texas Roadhouse. And you're talking big popular chains, but he was a guy in the community.
And
he was
the
the one
amount
making
that they give back to the communities and the local support they give to the high schools and the philanthropic things that they do, we mirror that also.
Right. I just want to say something. I'm sitting here kind of playing with some of the inserts from your welcome package, and I want to point out differences from some of the other things that might show up in your mail to current resident, where they're small, they're printed with businesses on both sides, and you're flipping around. And these, you got it on decent cardstock paper. It's large print. They're larger sized. What are these, 5x7?
6x9.
6x9 pieces, easy to read. And there's not like a second business that it's so thin it's bleeding through on the back side. It's one business per page in your welcome packet.
Correct.
With these coupons.
We also...
I need an oil change. Can I keep this?
Absolutely.
Kidding. No, this will go.
Precision Tune, another example of a major company that is franchise-based.
Right.
So they're all independently owned. One of the more other unique things, and I've been in the print space for 40 years, the mass production of printed material to get the lowest common denominator price is the exact opposite of what we do.
Right.
We manufacture and print things digitally, meaning that every single impression on one sheet of paper, that 6x9 stock, we can personalize to that resident.
Right, because I'm looking at this, and these businesses are all in the same area for this particular package.
Correct.
Right, so it's you're geographically targeting the neighborhood where the new resident is residing, so that the things that they're going to get, like, oh, this is 30 minutes away, I'm never going to go there. Instead, they're like, we can do this tonight for dinner because it's just down the block.
Agreed. Absolutely.
I mean, you're really doing a great job of connecting the new resident with the local businesses and vice versa.
If there's a company that needed to attract 6-foot-tall, Santa-looking, 59-year-old males, we could develop a list and target those people specifically for that brand or those goods and services.
Right.
Critical mass right there allows us to really be targeted in our targeted approach. And we can do that through our envelope program.
Well, I mean, and I just want to stress this because I had not seen the packet until it landed here as we started talking.
Sure.
And it's a massive difference between what I get in the mail at my house.
Sure.
And I can see there's so much value, and I hope that the businesses understand that when a consumer gets this, they're going to be more likely to go through it because it's like they're getting something from someone they know because of the way you designed it. And then each individual business page is clean, it's professional,
it's a unique offer.
It is local. Yeah, it's right. It's a unique offer you're not going to find necessarily anywhere else.
Correct.
And it's targeted to be used.
Yep. It can be utilized as a certificate. You can be old school, walk into an establishment and hand it to them. They can also utilize it, single-use barcodes. They can scan it and go online through their app place it. All of that. It's fit to whoever the geographic and demographic that you're going after.
I've never seen this quality in a mailing like this before. I'm sitting here going, like, ordinarily, I'll open those others and see if there's a coupon I need, if I need an oil change or an air duct cleaning or the Mexican restaurant. But then I've got to, separate, lick my fingers and separate the little thin pages. And is it going to be this is more like a gift pack.
It's exactly that's exactly what we're trying to attain.
I can't get over the quality of that mailing. You don't see that in the mail these days. Everything is supposed to be on a budget, and this looks like, you're putting in a quality product which is going to be beneficial to the, instead of worried about saving a few on printing so you can make more money.
Sure.
You're trying to connect the businesses and the new residents, and it's going to work for everybody long term because it's a better product.
Correct. Our key is to make sure we maintain the integrity of the brand on both sides,
Right.
our brand and a potential partner's brand. We want to make sure that we're providing a great product, a high quality product, because we want to make sure that it equals the value that they're trying to sell on their own business.
Right.
Right. If you're a fly-by-night organization and you want to go ahead and just do some mass mailings and do it on your own.
Yeah.
Right. We want to make sure that our average customer stays with our town. And when I joined the company, I had a full-out shouting match with the CFO because I'm like, you can't tell me that the longevity of a client is this. I need to see this. 6.5 years is an average relationship that we have with local businesses. 6.5 years.
That's phenomenal.
We have some that are with us 22 years, let alone a business being in business 22 years, but to use the same methodology of attracting and getting in front of new people.
That tells a lot. Say I'm the consumer, not the business. You've got the business. You've got your little housewarming gift mailing that arrives. It looks like they're cherry picked because it's not overstuffed.
Correct.
It's quite a number of them, but still they're quality choices. And then to have people that have been working with you, average 6.5, some more than 2 decades, that shows they're consistently getting a return on their investment, which is why they keep making sure that they're in the housewarming mailing. That's a big deal, meaning that the consumer who gets this in the mail knows that this is a trusted business that they can go to.
Yeah. Why it's not over inundated.
You didn't overpack it.
With being overpacked is because we also offer exclusivity only. So there is one takeout pizza place. There is one Mexican restaurant. There is one veterinarian service. Because we want to make sure that we're providing the relationship in that community with the best services that are available.
Well, let me ask you this then, too, because I see where this is going with the quality that Our Town America is looking for in the businesses they partner with for the benefit of the new residents and consumers. It must be difficult sometimes to verify, which is why you do the questionnaires, right? So that the consumer will fill them out. What kind of questions do you ask?
That's a great feed for me. I appreciate that because honestly, as we come through this, and I walked you through my path, the last portion of that is filling out a survey. And that survey allows us to see what did they think of that restaurant? What did they think about that establishment? Because we communicate that back to the business. If they loved it, that's great. If they didn't like something, I don't want them going on Yelp. I want them to communicate directly with an owner utilizing our vehicle saying, I had this experience. I know I'm 1 out of 1,000 a day, but I want them to be aware of it. Then they also step down and say, these are things that I really would have found useful. So now our salespeople, our franchises who own the businesses in local markets for our town can go out and say, hey, Mr. Veterinarian, I've had 150 people in the last 2 months identify that it would be great if they knew who the most popular or the best resource for veterinarian services in this community. There's 5 to choose from. So we can now go and look, okay, of those 5, which one should we really want to partner with? And we take the top 2 and we go and interview them, and it's not even really a sales approach. It's more of I think interview.
That's a key part of it. When you said that, you go and you interview the top 2 businesses that you researched to see which one would be best to partner with. You're not going, hey, whoever's going to cough up the money first or the most money is going to get in our package. You're going to go, we need to find the best service for the consumer. And that's a long-term strategy, which is why the company's been around in the area in Tampa Bay for over 50 years.
Correct. And in the last few years, after COVID, the growth of our company has been phenomenal. I mean, we're averaging anywhere from a 20 to 26% growth month over year. And we've been doing that for 26 months straight.
Okay, so I know you do have an online presence as well.
Yeah.
We're talking about the mailing, which is great. You know, when it comes in the mail, people get excited, especially if they see it's because this is specifically targeting the new resident, right?
Correct.
It's that house.
So how would you target a
a
new resident digitally?
Right. Well, that's what I'm getting to. You've got this, but you also have the online presence. And by the way, the website, which we haven't mentioned yet, is OurTownAmerica.com. And you can, it's all about geofencing the marketing. But how does a new resident find out about you to receive one of these? Or how do you find them? Or if they want to look online? Because many people will pull out their phones and they just don't even look at paper mail anymore.
Correct. So it's a process that we're making sure we're covering every demographic and geographic area and how they need to be aware of businesses, right? So there's a 67% increase in the first 120 days when someone moves of people opening up their mail, right? So we've got that covered. On the digital presence, the younger communities, people who are, my parents are 85 years old. They're on Instagram. They are extremely well versed in utilizing their phones and using apps, which is hilarious to me. But we use a same process called addressable geofencing. You mentioned geofencing. Everyone's aware of geofencing. You paint a fence around a particular business or an area, and anyone who enters that, you're going to be served up impressions and you're going to be targeted by specific businesses. We have identified that 90% of our business comes from new movers. I now know who that targeted person is. I geofence their homes, and we serve up impressions under that roof. So now it's just not the person opening up the mail, but anyone who's on a smart device, their phone, laptop, smart TV, they're going to be served up impressions on businesses that are applicable to that particular business, to that particular resident.
Got it.
So that's a great tool that we have. And that could be used for just branding your business. It could be used for driving people to a specific site. It could be register for the app, for a loyalty program. Whatever it is, it's a extremely great tool, and it literally mirrors and meshes with what we're trying to accomplish, which is basically digital direct mail.
Right, yes.
So I'm not worried about paying for advertisements, paid ads, because you, based on your characteristics, your age, your hobbies, and all that, should be a good candidate. I've already identified you're my candidate. You're a new mover. You need to know about these businesses in your area, and I'm going to get you in front of those people one way or another.
As I continue to look through the package that arrives to the new resident, the quality and the careful selection of the businesses you are trying to share with them is far above getting lost in the shuffle of those big, fat envelope packages that people are used to getting.
Yeah.
It makes me a little sad I'm not a new resident because I've been here since 71. And you didn't exist until 72 in the Tampa Bay area.
We have businesses from the smallest little startup coffee shop that we want to support in that community,
right,
up to Burger King, Culver's, Little Caesar franchises,
yeah,
because we want to make sure that we do have that local support. And some of them,
because when it can be a big national chain, but if the owner of that particular location, that address is in the community.
Yep.
Then
and we do have some national placements. We have, companies like Harry's, shaving, tools, and Farmer's Dog, and these other places that go everywhere we go.
Great companies,
but we've identified who they are. We limit it to 14 across the whole U.S., so there's not, a bazillion of them. We just want to make sure that we're curating an appropriate message when you move. These are the businesses that are important to the community. These are the businesses that support new movers, welcome you here, and they also support philanthropically the area. I love, after you fill out the survey, right, we do a drawing twice a year.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that. But I do want to say, the fact that I didn't know you exist, I did not know you existed. And I'm very excited about learning about the product today because of what you're taking a hometown approach to big business.
Yeah. I can tell you, there's not a business vertical that it doesn't apply to.
Right.
there are certain markets in the U.S. that we do promos for TV stations, for radio stations, for things, because you know what? I want to get in front of you before you do what? You form a habit.
Right. Because you're limiting the amount that you offer, though, I'm trying to think of the way I wanted to phrase this. It's not overwhelming. Nobody gets lost in the shuffle, and every business that's being presented has value immediately.
Yeah, we do little nuances to the envelope, for example, to get more of a open rate. There's a tactile feel to the envelope. Little things that cost ridiculous amounts of extra money, but I just want to make sure that our program, makes people feel comfortable.
Yeah, it makes you want to engage because of the way it's presented. It's very well done, and I imagine that you have companies that are disappointed when they don't make the cut.
That's true. That's true. It's actually one of the easiest phone calls.
Do you actually have like a waiting list? Or?
Actually, we do. So because people are contracted with us, there are certain markets and zip codes that people are in line. If these people don't renew, I'm next.
Okay.
Because I want to jump in.
Right. So because we've been going along here, and I know that you want to get to the philanthropy thing.
Yeah.
You were talking about the questionnaire and why it's important that we fill it out, and then sometimes you do the drawings.
Right.
Yes.
So we do a drawing. I'll give you two examples over the last 2 years. Last year, we provided a drawing, and the winner was out of I'm going to try to remember the town in Iowa, Ankeny, Iowa, small town, Iowa. She was at a Little Caesars franchise, and that was the drawing. She filled out the survey. Turns out that it was a perfect entree for her. She had moved. Her family was from Ankeny. She's a cancer survivor. She was extremely philanthropic. Well, the conversation starts going on, and when we get on TV and present local awards to people like this, it's a $3,000 check. The owner of the franchise, our town, and her, we all coupled together and made some significant donations to the local center, the local, I'm trying to think, I think it was John Stoddard Cancer Center in Iowa. And she volunteers in hospitals and the police force. So there was just some great continuity there that we didn't want to just fly in, hand a check, the big paper checks.
Right.
And then walk out. We wanted to make sure that she understood and the businesses understood that the value of what we're really all about is creating that continuity between new residents and businesses. It's, yes, we all have to make money.
Right.
Right? But we also want to identify that there's ways to make money and also contribute to communities and create that feeling of being welcomed into a community. And here locally, we just did one. Another gentleman, it was the, I think it was the St. Pete winner. Yes, Daniel Terry. Yeah, so that was a really good point for us to be able to award him. And that tied into then another local group that we've been supporting, a melanoma, Philip A. Bryant Melanoma Association. It's a post-secondary scholarship that they give out to Clearwater High School.
Okay, yeah.
So again, local. Right? We sponsor their golf tournament. They do a great thing, and it's this husband and wife that developed this over 20 years ago. In fact, September 7th, 2006 was when it started. A young man died of melanoma, and they get support through local businesses, and they get support all the way up through the Moffitt Cancer Center.
Right.
So it's a great, and if anyone, if you don't mind, if I can give out that organization,
yeah, please.
It's PAB40. Foundation.org. It's a great foundation if you're interested in supporting any local charities, and they provide a great scholarship to a graduate from Clearwater High School.
I think it's really important. Some thoughts may be, scholarship, or you supported a charity that only supports one school. There are a lot of big charities that handle a lot of the big ticket ideas. Yeah. We're coming around in October and all the breast cancer awareness, and there are major national organizations, and they're all important. But when you can drill down, if you're a local business in a local community, you can't save everyone. You can't, save every tree. You can't support everyone that you would like to. But if you can change a life here or there,
correct,
it is a massive win. And if more people did that, we could kind of cover everybody.
Yep, on a local level.
It's really important on a local level to get involved locally.
You can see the results of your efforts.
Right.
Because it's in your backyard.
Well, and there's value in it for you as a philanthropist or anybody, any volunteer. I've never seen a volunteer that says, well, that was a waste of a Saturday out there, handing out water to people in the walk. Why did I do that?
Exactly.
No, they walk away supercharged and wanting to do more the next year.
Agreed.
You rarely find a volunteer that doesn't grow their efforts.
Agreed.
And so you start small, you start local, you know, and that's great. When you have these businesses, you have these winners that come in and they want to donate the money and give back. It's fantastic. And I love the way you're tying in the residents and the local businesses. You're tying in gathering information so that people can provide better services. People can save money by using the housewarming gifts that arrive when they're new. And now you have feedback to the business, you have prizes to the consumer, and then philanthropy in their own neighborhood.
Correct.
You're doing a lot.
A lot of small businesses pride themselves on doing that. So if we can assist them in that, with utilizing that and having a tool for them,
right?
It's a win-win for everyone.
This has been enlightening for me. I'm so happy. I kept forgetting to reintroduce, so anybody that joined us knows who I'm even talking to. It's Jim Puba with Our Town America, and it is more than just a collection of gift certificates and freebies that arrive to new visitors. It is basically an introduction to your neighborhood businesses.
100%.
And the quality of the product I was not expecting.
I appreciate that.
Like I said, I'm not a new resident, which is why you never targeted me.
Correct.
It's interesting that there's a business out there that doesn't care if they reach everybody.
Well, we do have tools for businesses to maintain that consistent branding and all that.
But
really,
your whole point is,
the premise is, I want to get in front of new movers.
Right. You want to get in front of a specific group of people that have an immediate need and start to develop those relationships that will last the entire time they're neighbors. And that needs to be done as well. I think it's great because otherwise your message would start to be diluted.
Correct.
When it lands in somebody's hands at their new home, it's going to have an impact.
Yep.
More than over-processed, filled, minutiae, too many paint. I'm not even going to look through this.
Yeah, I agree.
I think that's a better impact for the people that are getting the welcome packages and for the businesses that want to find new clients.
Yep.
I think it's fantastic, Jim.
It's a great tool for people who move, and it's a great tool for businesses that want to get in front of you before you start to form those habits.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about people that want to learn more about Our Town America. What's the best way?
Best way to get a hold of us is you can go to our website, ourtownamerica.com. You can always call us, 800-497-8360, or just email us at moreinfo@ourtownamerica.com.
All right, so whether you are a business or you are new to the area or know somebody, pass them along to ourtownamerica.com. All the information he gave is there, and you'll be able to reach out to somebody. As a matter of fact, it looks like Mike is online right now answering questions on your website. Little chats there. He's ready to answer those questions.
That's it.
Jim, is there anything else you want to share with us about Our Town America and your experience and career with them?
I just appreciate your time today.
Absolutely.
I love having a generic overall conversation about business. Whether you use us or if there's another tool out there that does that, make sure that you're connecting people in your community and support your local businesses.
Like I said, I think this is fantastic because it is targeting new business, like new consumers to the area, which you end up having a relationship with businesses that averages 6.5 years, sometimes decades. How long do you think those relationships go that you've connected with the customer to the business?
So we do ROIs, and people sit back and go, wow, the amount of relationships that have been driven through your tool and the revenue created because of that is astounding sometimes.
Yeah.
Really is.
Yeah, like I said, it's a hometown approach to good business. And we so often miss that. It becomes less personal. This has a very personal local feel.
Yeah.
And that's because it is.
Yeah, we cover it from St. Pete to, St. Cloud, Minnesota to San Diego, the whole U.S.
You know, Jim, the next time you have like a big giveaway and or a philanthropic effort that you're going to be making a donation, please let us know so that we can have you back on the show.
I appreciate
I'd love to
that.
continue to share that information.
That's great. I appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. You have a great day.
Yeah,
This
you too.
is Tampa Bay Today at Florida Alumni Radio, 10:10 a.m. We'll be right back.